Hello and welcome to the new wrap-up show. I'm waiting for Bob. Bob's not here yet, but I do have my friend Witz here. And so we're just going to start talking about the show until Bob gets here, if he gets here. So what did you think about the show today, dude? I mean, besides what you were a part of, what did you think about the show?
I was so excited I don't even remember it.
Yeah, it was. You were pretty worked up at the beginning.
Yeah. How do I make myself smaller? My face and all that gets smaller. How
do you want to go like
you
this?
Already got a big head.
Hey, Bob. Bob, let's be nice to each other at first. I have a plan. What I think we should do, and who am I to say this, but I think what we should do is kind of talk about the show at first, and then you guys can go on and speak about your differences on what happened today. But I think personally that it was a fucking awesome show. And for me, what I think is getting better and better is Elisa's interviewing. Like, she's honestly becoming a fantastic interviewer. And think about this. How hard do you think it was to interview a guy with one-word answers? And she still pulled it off.
He was answering. It's just you really had to listen and pay attention.
Yeah, but he's a man of few words. He didn't go on. He would just say...
He is very shy, if you want to put it that way. But the reason for that is because of his mental issue. And he just feels like the whole world's closing in on him and wants to attack him. Because when he was young, he was constantly abused and attacked by kids growing up. You've heard him. He was threatened by knives. He had his lunch money taken from him every day. Kids spit on him. I mean, he had a bad childhood, and it's heavily affected his mentality. He was already slow as a child. And when I say slow, he is slow to communicate with people. He doesn't know how to communicate with people. He has a hard time doing that. So in order to communicate with him, I thought Elisa did a great job because she took everybody off of the panel and it was just her and him.
I completely agree. And also what she did was I felt like what she did was she saw that kind of was like going to be a rough interview. So she just kind of went to the point. She's like, so did you really divert airplanes? She just got to the meat. And that's good. That's a great interviewing style. Bob, you disappeared.
I think he's a very intelligent guy. I do. And I think the Bat at the end of the day is just a gamer. And part of the communication is we speak different languages, you know. And I mean, how would you fare out on a Spanish speaking show right now? You wouldn't.
I would not. No, absolutely not.
There's just no way to judge that other than befriending him, which I have. And I think he's very intelligent, and I think he's a gamer, and he might have got bored, and who doesn't get bored?
That's a good point right there, because to him, this was all just a big game in a way, but not when he was young. If you think about it, his father went to send him to visit his mom from, I guess, Greece back to Germany. And what did he do? That was his first time he shut down the airport because he did not want to go see his mom. He hates his mom.
That was the reason behind the first one?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And then he turned around and did it again, but he did it not to an airport. You heard what he did to this guy that insulted him. And he just got so mad at this guy that he went after him for 2 freaking years. And he finally, stopped going after the guy after 2 years. Kind of reminds you of some other people we know that after 6 years, they're still going after this one person.
This is my first time on this podcast here on this one. Is this a fiction or a nonfiction?
Oh, it could be whatever we want to be. You guys are going to get a great chance to go at each other, though. I promise you that. I promise.
Who's talking about going at anybody?
Rob was there that night, and I turned my video screen around, and the Bat was there. The Bat right in front of us told us he was shutting down the airport, or that he did it. And we didn't believe him, so he turned his screen around and did it right in front of us. And we were freaking out. That is true. But Rob leaves out the fact that
at that point, I did what I always do, Bob. I did what Jens tells you I do. I
Let
started
me
leading
finish,
you around.
Rob. Let me finish. Let me finish. If you want me to let you talk, you have to let me finish.
Yeah, just let him speak for a second. I
Just
mean,
as long as you're speaking and not making a speech. When you have to finish,
Okay, let me
sometimes you
talk,
say, "Let
Rob.
me
That's fair.
Rob,
finish,"
don't.
and then you
No,
make
you don't tell
speeches.
me what the fuck to talk about on my own show, Rob. Shut the fuck up and let people talk.
Well,
Well,
I
just-
believe it. I'm
Damn, is
not
that
gonna
so
listen to a
difficult for
speech.
you? Is it
Finish
really
your
that
sentence.
fucking impossible for you to do? You just can't shut the fuck up and listen?
Finish your sentences and don't make speeches, okay?
No, I'm
All right,
finished.
right.
I'll
Like
say it how I want to say it. How about that? And you just shut the fuck up. How about that?
Bob, why don't we get to the point where you guys disagree? What
Now,
part of this story?
I'm getting to that. So, in that live stream in particular that Rob was talking about, I turned my screen around and I went to the airport schedule, and we saw 5 plane flights that were diverted, real lifetime. One of those flights was diverted as far away as Dulles. That's up there in New York.
Now, let me
Another
stop you
plane
there. Let me
flight was
stop you.
diverted to Dallas, Texas International Airport.
Let me just stop you there, though. Wits, is this true to you? Did this happen?
this is not my truth.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
because he don't want people to know the truth so that he can go around spewing his bullshit and lies.
Well, what-
How much beer did you have to drink before that podcast, during that podcast? And we don't care about after, but
I was
how
on
much
my
did we
third
sit
beer,
there and
Rob.
drink?
Bob, that night I was on my 3rd beer. After that, we had a lot of beer. But let me
Wait,
tell you
how
something.
can you
Now,
remember?
I
How do
remember
you-
exactly what took place because I was there, Rob. I was the
It was a
one that
year
went to
ago.
the airport
It was a year
website and
ago.
we
You
were
go live
looking at
every
the
night.
actual flights being
I
diverted.
call bullshit. I call bullshit. It was a
Yeah,
year
you
ago.
bullshit.
You go live
Everything
every
out of your
night.
mouth is a
How do you
bullshit.
okay,
know?
all right,
How do
hold
you
on.
know?
Hold on. What if we just get Bat in here? Can somebody do that? Can we facilitate Bat coming in here, and then he can really put an end to this part of it because he's the one that was doing it.
John was
What?
there too.
Who?
John.
Oh,
Fireman
yeah,
John was there too.
I
don't know if
I
he'll like
invited
it,
him.
Rob or not though, but I actually had the actual airport's live feed of the flights going in and the flights going out.
Bob, it was
And
just a screenshot, and we were talking over it, and we did get a feed up. It did move, but every 15 minutes, it's not. Things don't move. Airplanes don't work that way. You're putting square pegs in the round hole
because
here.
when you went
Right.
into the weather,
I
they were going
started
out.
it, you followed up with it, and we had a high whole time drinking and fucking around, telling everybody that the planes are being diverted. That's the truth.
Okay. So let's move on from that. What did you guys think
That's
about
a lie
his
too, Rob.
associate? What did you think about his
His
associate
associate's
today?
awesome. He's honest. He's very smart. He pulled up that night in question and showed.
Bob, you're freezing up somehow. Is he freezing for you too?
Yep.
Oh, his connection went out. Okay, so
I don't know what the hell the deal with the associate was. Has he ever been on Kermit and Friends?
I've never
before?
seen him before. It feels like to me, like if I'm just going to be honest, it felt like he was actually really an associate of his, and he was invited either by Bat or Bob or somebody that invited whoever, and that he was literally his friend. That's how I read it. I could be
think
wrong.
he was looking out for him. He could have been some form of law enforcement, like maybe Interpol or FBI. But he had a cop's mentality, the way he pushed, shoved, and controlled when he had a actually.
I didn't get that. You know what I read that as? I think that he was overly excited to be on the show, and he really wanted to get his point across, because I was watching the chat for the show, and the entire time he's like, "Put me back on, put me back on, put me back on."
FBI, because I dropped the dime on these guys. I knew it was coming. And I tell them, look, they're using him. Bob's using him again for his channel. Bob, you know what I mean?
For Bat?
shares, and subscribes.
Oh, for Bob's channel, you're saying?
That's all Bob's doing. All Bob and Doug Ducote's doing.
Well, it was fantastic content. I mean, I think today's show went great, so I'm glad Bat got on there.
And he belongs on a show like KAF. He doesn't belong on there with sharks circling him, the likes of Douglas Ducote and Bob.
Well, Douglas didn't seem like he had a huge problem with the Bat to me. He seemed like he had.
I'm sorry. Doug
no,
he was going with the flow. He had full knowledge that he was out of his element. He was not on in a crowd of echoing, bubble-tarded, fucking conservative, whatever they are. He was not in his crowd. He was out of his element. He knew that, and he went with whatever Elisa's lead was.
Yeah, I kind of saw him being agreeable where I wouldn't have imagined him being agreeable. But then again, I don't know him, and I've never seen his content.
Yeah, he's the yes man.
But
So
when he was agreeing with Charmin, sorry about that. When he was agreeing with Charmin, I was like, oh, okay. He's probably just going with the flow.
It's for being in front of the cameras. He's a yes man at these times, and yeah, I don't know. Doug Ducote just doesn't get any of my respect. On a scale of 1 to 5, he don't even a 1.
Well, let's get to that, man. You definitely went in on him.
Lies. Many lies.
So you guys obviously you have a back history. There's a story behind it.
No,
if you want to share that,
I don't never talk to him. I never talked to him.
But you've obviously known about him. If you have such like,
I've observed his show. I was subscribed to his channel and observed his shows, and then like, you're lying, dude. I'm thinking you're lying. That can't be true. Just like it's always contradictions that trigger in my mind. There are many in the past that happened yesterday, but even today he goes on this show and we've already decided that he was being a yes man, just going along to get along, and tell everybody he has a show and my show and I'm famous and I got 50 million subscribers, Go along.
Well, I'm going to play devil's advocate. I'm going to play devil's advocate because I didn't feel like he was over promoting his show. If anything, he was diminishing it a little bit by saying that he used to have 500,000 followers and he does not anymore.
But that's all he had to do was get out the fact that he has a show. That's all he needed to do one time.
That's true. I actually, as far as his appearance, I think he did a great job. I think he did a great job on here, regardless of how you feel about if you agree with him or not.
He's always begging for money, and he hits people.
Rob, he does not beg for money. Look, Doug Ducote has more money than you think, Rob. He has multiple houses. He's definitely a lot wealthier than Mark Connors. And by the way, Weezy, when Charmin comes on here, you got to boot out dickhead up there because she doesn't like him. And he's just going to interrupt her all the time.
That's a lie. We're in direct message right now. So that's another lie, Bob.
That's a fact.
Another lie.
I'll tell you something else. I invited the bat on here also. Hit the link and it's friend the link also.
Daniel, what do you think about this?
He don't want me to communicate with you. I invited the bat on here also. Hit the link and it's friend the link also.
Who's echoing? Somebody's
It's
echoing.
last guy, Daniel.
Daniel. Mute Rob.
Who's echoing? Somebody's echoing.
Last guy, Daniel. Daniel.
I'm listening.
Mute Rob.
Who's echoing? Somebody's echoing really bad, real.
I'm listening.
I shut my mic off. It ain't me.
Who's echoing? Somebody's echoing really bad, real.
I'm listening.
I shut.
Well, that was interesting. I don't know anything about that. Daniel, can you unmute yourself?
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, so you're not echoing. I'm going to slowly add people back. But before I do, I want to get your what you think about what's going on. Yeah, so you're not echoing. Somebody's still echoing.
Okay, I'm so sorry. That was actually me. I had the YouTube chat opening. I should be better than that because I'm a podcaster.
Well, I'm just happy that it wasn't me because I was feeling like a giant noob. So
no, it was me. I'm the freaking douche.
You're not a douche. What do you think about everything that's going on right now?
Well, first off, I wanted to give props to Lisa because the bat, he was a tough guest. I mean, there was obviously a very strong language barrier right there, and that is really hard to deal with. It's hard to make somebody like that really, entertaining, but I think that the overall crap that he was doing, getting the planes redirected, that's crazy. I mean,
it's nuts. Yeah. I agree with you.
Federal crime or something. I saw some police cars pulling up behind Eliza on her. You could kind of see the action going on.
Oh
behind
yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. I was like, my God, this is perfect timing. They're coming to arrest everybody.
Yeah, you think that it's the FBI just creeping up on her. Yeah, I didn't even think about that when I get myself involved in these shows, but I don't have anything to
Hey, you want to hear something crazy?
Yeah.
So I'm hearing Charmin talking about how today's her birthday, November 7th. It's actually my birthday today too.
Happy birthday, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My God, freaky stuff.
Yeah.
God having some kind of sense of humor.
I didn't realize today was Charmin's birthday. I thought it was this week sometime.
I thought it was yesterday. I didn't know.
It would make more sense to do with
Since we're talking about Charmin, I'm talking to her in DM right now and have been since before the show started.
Bring her on.
Bob, I'm calling you a liar.
Well, I may not be correct about it, but I don't get good vibes from her. But irregardless, if y'all get along, you're going to interrupt her.
No, you said I have to be removed because she don't like him.
Well, number one and first and foremost, you are going to interrupt her. So we need to remove you from the podcast anytime anybody else is brought up. So
you just fucking make up lies on people? Now, this lie ain't only
Rob,
affecting me.
We get you lies every single day, all day long. I caught you in a lie. I caught you in a lie today.
A lie on Charmin just now.
You said, Mark, that fucking picture that you said was his comments. He made those comments, you said. He did not make those comments, you dickhead.
I'll meet you on that one.
Shit to Mark, and he sent it back to you, and he asked you, what is that?
Guys, come on.
I hear you. So
and then you posted it on Discord claiming that was him that wrote that shit. That was another lie. One that I caught you in.
One at a time.
Stop lying, Rob.
One at a time. Let's back it up.
Okay, let Rob just reply, Bob, just so that we can have an easy listening type thing. And if everybody's talking over himself, people aren't going to listen.
Yeah, because there's some good content here, and unless we take turns, then we're not going to get everything.
He put statements in Charmin's mouth just now, and I'm asking you about that, and you're changing the subject now.
Well, we now have the person that could put an end to all of this. Charmin, welcome to the show.
Well, happy birthday to you, Daniel. But today isn't my birthday. They were just talking about it today.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I'm glad.
When is your birthday, Charmin? Was it last week or is it this week?
November the 1st.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought.
Day.
That's what I thought. It was
no more.
No, I still like you. I like you both. I want you to stop fighting. I want Bob back from Mark. I think Mark is causing more trouble than he's worth.
Mark has nothing to do with this except for I told Mark, if Rob sent you that, how about you send it back to him and ask him about it? And he did. And then Rob posted it this morning claiming it was Mark that sent that to him. It was Mark that wrote that. Mark had nothing to do with that. That was more manipulation from Rob so that he could go Mark bashing again today. And let me point this out. We are on day 70, Rob. This is day 70.
Get him back.
Rob,
day 70 of what?
This is day 70. 70 days in a row. Nothing but pure filthy trash talking from the first thing in the morning until you son of a bitches finally get so drunk you pass out. 70 fucking days in a row. I'm counting them, Rob.
How dare anybody talk trash on the show?
What did you start counting 70 days ago, Bob? What happened 70 days ago?
Well, they took a break for one day, or else we'd be up to like 90 days in a row. But
I do wish I could find a way to.
I don't know if that math works out.
Have been doing nothing but trash talking all day long. From the very minute that the Taylors wake up, they start bashing me. They were doing this to Mark too on the Discord.
Let me
But it goes from the Taylors waking up until they go out, and then they start tag teaming you with Harry, and then John, and then Rick, and then Christina. And the whole way long, there's Rob stirring up the shit all day long.
All right, here, let's talk about, since we have Charmin on here, and now we have Daniel on here, let's talk a little bit about the show again. Let's see what Charmin thinks about the show. What did you think about the show today, Sean?
I think it was a spectacular show, right? And I always have my weird spiritual things. So I immediately picked up on the Bat's birthday. Being 10 years younger than AW to the date immediately caught my attention.
Oh, that's weird.
And Wits had pulled some information on her and sent me her birth date recently and said, this might be important to you. So as soon as it popped up, I went back to our messaging and was like, hey, what was her birthday? What's going on? That's too weird for me. And he thinks it's my PTSD hypervigilance, and I think it's my weird spiritual stuff. So I was glad I got the opportunity to ask the Bat if there might be a possibility for him to blow up the AW episode and get it the attention it truly deserves. I think today is one of the greatest episodes we've had because like everything came together in a super cool way. Whatever it is about Douglas Ducote and his spectacular wife, who's a therapist, and Bob and his amazing gift.
That was very nice of Bob.
When Ducote brought up the theme of mental health and forgiveness and donations, I was so proud of myself for following the instinct to start the GoFundMe account.
Gets donations is for his wife to be able to run that PTSD. Let me talk. I know I interrupted her. I know I did that, but this is good timing for what I got to say.
Yeah, go ahead,
He knows it, so let me finish. This is the only reason Doug takes donations is because he purchased a big building for his wife as her graduation present years ago, because she is now a PTSD psychologist. She has like the highest education in this field. And she gives free PTSD to anybody they can give it to help them be able to cope with PTSD. And this is what I talked about Doug with, not just coming on the show for the episode of The Bat, which was pretty good in and of itself, but also because I knew about what his wife does every single day helping people. And I knew that one little time that most people like, I missed out on when the Bat said his birthday. I didn't even pay attention to it because I already got it somewhere probably. But I also clued in on when Charmin said that she had PTSD. I don't even know what it's for, to be honest with you. It's none of my business. But I do know somebody that can help her with that for free. And that's Douglas Ducote's wife. So I
think that was very nice of you. I honestly think that was very nice of you.
Like that really meant a lot to me, right? And because they have the connection with the Bat, my AW story might not sound totally nuts to her. She'll have the ability to be able to help me. And I think that's
too. He helps with their channel. So you're going right back into the fire with that route.
Does Mark help with Douglas? How does Mark know Douglas Ducote?
No, he does not help Douglas Ducote. Douglas Ducote will not allow Mark Connors to be a part of his show in any way.
Do they have history, Bob?
Let him say that publicly then. Let him.
All right, I'll go get Douglas. Hold on. I'll be right back.
Do they have history? Is that why that is an issue?
No.
Have they met each other before? Why is it that Douglas? Yeah, bring Douglas back. Let's see if we can find out what Douglas knows about Mark.
Yeah, I'd love to, because all I hear about is this Mark guy. And, he's talked to me once and it was nothing but nice things to me, to the point where I felt like he might have been trying to sell me a car.
Well, there's a lot of things that Mark has said to me that cue up my hypervigilance and my weird spiritual stuff. So there's a lot of connections coming together all the time. And that live video he did this week, like I've got a story. Yeah, that live video that he did this week, and he picked Black Sabbath War Pigs for his background music, and that's significant to me. We had an argument about war this week, and John the fireman and Wits In did invite me to their show tonight, and they have invited me, and John and Chris and his wife Kelly have given me permission to talk about my weird spiritual stuff. And that song and Mark and something John said to me.
Charmin,
I got a John and Bobby story that involves the song War Pigs, and I want you to hear it too. Okay, I got a John and Bobby story.
That is a trap. That it's something to where they can gather information on you, and they are going to use all of the information that they've been looking up about you in the future against you, because that is what they do. In particular, Rob is running that gang right there. And I promise you, mark my words, right here now on this day, Rob DeHaven and his gang are going to go after you.
Rob,
Like they got a major addiction.
Rob, what do you have to say to that?
This is getting scary.
You know, I'm better off just
I agree,
letting him
Daniel.
talk and expose his own self, because this is all speculation, imagination. He's dealing with some of his own skeletons and PTSDs. So
Can I bring something up?
I'm going to be silent right now. Yeah, you go ahead. Just the more he talks, the weirder it gets.
I am going to get my case expunged next year. I do have connections now to do that since all of that came out. So I thank you, Rob, for that.
Well, I can't help but notice that about a week ago, maybe a little bit less, you guys were on the same stream and you were getting along fabulously.
We can get along sometimes. That is true.
That's better. I like it better when you guys get along because I like both of you guys.
But when Rob goes through his about 3 or 5 day or 2 week episode where he can't open his mouth without lying, then we go back to not being able to get along. That's just the way it is.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate that you guys both feel that way because you're both entertaining.
Men fight differently than women do. That's definitely something that's been called out, especially with Coach Love and Elisa last week, right? Men just fight differently than women do. And there's a lot that's coming out. People are complaining about the things that sound threatening, the metaphorical threats, the insinuations. There's some spots where people go too far. And one of the things that really sticks out to me in the Discord chat is there is a love-hate relationship between these guys, especially Fireman John and Bobby. I got a John and Bobby story, and there's a love-hate relationship there. And War Pigs was like, oh, Mark got no idea what kind of universal spiritual mess he just stepped his foot in right now. And I like the fact that you guys see each other as worthy adversaries and you like fighting each other. And there's something special there.
We don't have anybody who can battle.
Kidding me? I used to be a nice guy. He trained me.
I know. Let me tell you something. There is something special going on.
Yeah, you guys
here.
have
We can
similar
lay some ground
rules.
We can lay some ground rules so we stay away from the metaphorical threats. We can stay away from some things that need to not be said anymore.
I contacted him and I asked him, I said, hey, can you teach me how to make videos? That happened. I didn't know about him.
There's something special going on here. God knows exactly what God's doing, bringing all of us here, arguing and fighting. No way anybody would ever be able to pin a conspiracy charge on any one of us because we don't ever get along long enough to agree on anything, to set anything up. So anything that does come together is absolutely the universe pulling it together on purpose because God wants it exposed. And there's no way anybody will ever get any of us on conspiracy, gang-related, or RICO charges. So any threats that get thrown around are just being done for terror and intimidation.
Well, let me
exactly. And I've been hearing those threats for years and years and years.
Let Daniel.
There's something special to be talked about there because there is some conspiracy, some gang activity, and some real bubble events that take place that prevent people from making money. And it wouldn't be coming up if God didn't want us talking about it. So keep talking about it. We'll connect the dots later.
Me and Rob and that entire gang will get along the day they stop going after
Daniel.
War Pigs is not Pink Floyd, it's Black Sabbath.
Guys, let Daniel talk. Let Daniel talk. He's our guest.
Can't hear Daniel. Sorry,
He's
Daniel.
our guest.
Yeah, I'm just trying not to filibuster. I can. Maybe I'll do that next time. But, well, this does concern me a lot because, when I hear things about like court dates and metaphorical threats and stuff like that, these things are a threat to the long.
I agree with you on that completely.
Keep it above the belt.
Yeah, keep it above the belt. We don't want, for sure, there are professional investigators, judges, law enforcement, especially as the Bat has showed up here. If he has an FBI background, Barry filed an IC3 form for me on my birthday. One of the things I have said since I got here is I want an investigation. My life is very complicated.
Can I ask a question here? Can I ask a question? Is this above or below the belt, Sherman, or whoever wants to answer it? Is this above, or even the new guy here, Matt Associate? Is this above or below the belt? T-Bob, today, 5:34 a.m., which is yesterday. Hey, Christina, try not to drive your son into suicide, knowing his father had committed suicide.
Below the belt.
We can all agree that's below the belt.
No more of that. No more of that. That's not benefiting anybody.
5:30 a.m. Christina, will never get any dick. No man wants to get with a killing woman who drives men into killing themselves.
We
Above
don't
the
need.
belt. That's good.
Below the belt. No, that's below the belt. That's
We
below
need
the
to
belt.
Wait a
focus.
minute. Wait a
Oh, so
minute.
you
Wait a
admit
minute.
Did her
got
husband
drunk.
actually
Christina,
commit suicide?
up,
That's
let
So
me
rough.
you
talk,
admit
Rob.
your husband got drunk and hung himself because being married to you was so bad he felt like he was better off dead. Thank you,
Yeah.
Christina.
Yeah, where did Charmin go?
Why am
I
I
don't
here?
know. Maybe he was trying to put me off, but
I
it
don't
went
know.
well.
I don't control
No,
the
I was
screen.
just
I
gonna
don't know how
let you
to.
guys go. I was gonna let you guys go. What I want to do
On
is
what
welcome.
planet? Let me ask you this. On
Okay,
what
okay, let me
planet?
answer. Hold on, Rob.
Why
Hold
would
on.
you-
No,
what
hold on.
goes
You
on in
made
your mind?
accusations. You read
You're
things off.
hurting
Now it's
her.
my turn.
Bob, you don't think you're hurting her, but you are.
Yeah,
Good.
that's
You are
Good. I
hurting
want to
her.
hurt that stupid bitch. And I got a good fucking reason for doing it, you cocksucker. Because you and fucking Rick, you controlling Rick, brought her into attacking me every single day. And let me tell you, this is not the first time you did it. She did this shit with you 3 fucking years ago. She did it 2 years ago. Matter of fact, she did it knowing you as part of your gang in 2016, reported my shit on fucking Facebook. She can deny it to
Hi,
her
Bad
blue in the
Associate.
face,
front of all
but
these
I looked
people.
it up in the
You're
coding,
showing
Rob. It was her.
everyone.
It was her
You
all
are
the
showing
entire time.
everyone here
She
that
owes
there
me
is no love.
many apologizing for
Yeah,
telling
what is it?
many of fucking lies on me, Rob. And until today, she fucking admits it and apologizes for all of that shit. Christina can go fuck herself off the face of the fucking earth, the fucking
All right,
pig.
all right, all right,
And
all right.
she did coax her fucking husband into committing suicide. She
That's-
is fucking guilty. She belongs in prison.
Listen, we got our friend Bad Associate.
How do
in
you
here.
prove that your spouse is coaxing you into
You,
suicide?
you can't. Let's just move on from that.
All
Bad
you gotta do is look
Associate.
at what kind of
We,
woman
Welcome to
she
the
is.
show.
we do that all
Depends
the
on the
time,
size of
Weezy.
the,
We do that.
current.
We always move on and we give Bob a pass all the fucking time. This is outrageous behavior.
This is not
and
about
it's
giving a
hurting
pass.
someone.
You've been at this the whole time, Bax.
All right. I'm sorry, Bob, to have muted you, but this is not a pass for anything. This is me trying to move the show along to greener pastures just for even a second.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Bob
We'll come
left.
back to it. It's something that'll come up again, and hopefully we'll find a better way to do it. The thing is, when there's long-standing grudges, a lot of things have been said on both sides, and everybody feels really strongly about it. And whatever is going on has been going on for a long time. It's not getting resolved today.
Well,
We
even
continue
if
to
it
work
is,
on it.
Even if it is going to get resolved today, if they're talking over each other, nobody can listen. So nothing's getting done during those seconds. And, you know, we have people watching, and every time people are talking over each other, they're just going to leave.
Yeah.
You know,
You're
it's
right,
not,
you're
it's
right.
no fun, no matter who they are. It could be 2 presidents talking over each other. We don't want to listen.
No, it's too hard.
So Bob's going to be mad at me because I muted him and he immediately left, but I was only muting him to try to let everyone know, hey, let's chill. Welcome to the show, Bad Associate.
back.
What did you think about today's show?
I liked it. I was glad to see the bat. The only shame was I don't think we fleshed out enough why the
Well,
bat
yeah,
did what we did.
Yeah,
Where are
you're,
you?
Where am I?
What country are you in?
I'm from England.
You're from England. And is he in Greece or is he in England with you? Are you guys internet friends?
He's in Germany at the moment. Yeah, we're internet friends. I met him on a trap website about 5 years ago. We met on the autism tag. We both have autism. That's how we bonded.
What else do you think we should have fleshed out today? What do you think we missed?
We missed, as I was trying to say earlier, the fact that the bat didn't have any malicious intents. He was not trying to hurt Douglas Ducote. You see, as the bio said earlier, the bat is he's pretty bored. The way he spends his time is he makes these little scenarios in his head. You see, he imagines a world very similar to our own, but where things are funnier. So he studies people's characters, and he puts them in this world, and he imagines, all right, let's take this character trait of this person. Let's see how he would act in a funny world. Now he was following Douglas Ducote. He knew he's a patriot. He's sworn to the Constitution and the Republic for which it stands. So his idea was the reason, right? It was 2020 this happened. It was about the time that the coronavirus was really on people's minds. And Douglas, in Bat's mind, as a patriot, he wanted to protect his home state of Louisiana. He wanted to protect his state from getting infected by the coronavirus. How was he going to protect them? By isolating the state, by inoculating it. not letting anybody else in. How is one man going to shut down a whole state? By making terroristic threats. That's why he did it. It was an act of heroism. Drastic heroism. That was how the bat. He's explaining it because that's exactly what his thought process was. This was an act of patriotism. He was taking it into his own hands.
Do you think that's a clever spin on it, or do you actually believe that?
I believe that was exactly the bat's intention. There's nothing malicious about him. He was laughing the whole way.
Is the bat American or is he German?
Well, he's dual citizenship, Greek and German.
You could look
okay,
at
so
it.
it's not like he was an American patriot trying to save his country, but he was working in his own mind for the benefit of Ducote because Ducote wanted to protect his state.
It's crazy, but you've got to be in the bat element to get it.
And to do something really malicious to them, because like if somebody wrongs me in some way, rather than going out and getting some like vicious revenge against them, maybe I just go and play a prank on them. That way I don't feel like an asshole, if that makes sense.
I was more curious about the bubble that was put around Ducote now that, the FBI figured out that he was a target of the bat. How does the bubble work?
What bubble?
Hey, John. Welcome to the show.
Hi, everybody.
What bubble do we mean?
Angus
Ducote said
is
something
watching.
about a bubble that's kind of placed around you for your own protection once you become the target of somebody like the bat. That way he doesn't actually get blamed for the things the bat does. The FBI knows the bat is targeting him. So he's not getting in any trouble for the stuff the bat does. The feds and the alphabet know Ducote's not doing it. Ducote's innocent. It's just the bat.
That could be.
It's on the record. They know not to harass the guy now.
Yeah, it's not his fault. This guy in Germany has picked up on him and is focused on him and given him attention.
By the way, there was another vital point. It wasn't just crashing planes into the Baton Rouge airport. These were going to be planes filled with passengers who were tested positive for COVID. This was the threat was to unleash the pandemic on Baton Rouge. It wasn't going to do it. That was to scare them. Right, I thought that was a nice touch myself.
Okay, so part of the story the bat told was that he was going to crash planes, and everybody on the plane was positive for COVID, and that was one of the reasons why. What all was included in this story that the bat told that got the FBI involved? And how is he a free citizen? How is he above reproach? Why does he?
FBI still involved?
Why they have to be? Especially, they have to be. How is he? Who is he connected to that he's above reproach and he can get away with doing this stuff?
I can't answer that right now, but I'm on Discord with the bat, and I'm going to talk to him. You talk to yourselves right now, but I'm not going to divulge anything he doesn't want me to say.
I think I know.
Are you listening to anything that came out of the UN this last week with the trials against the US? Have you paid attention to any of that?
I don't know anything about it. Do you want to tell me?
Okay. It's not getting reported here in the United States.
How did
the UN has been investigating the United States of America for bad policing.
That's a great question, Witz.
Pushing subverting politicians, for a bunch of bad human rights behaviors, human rights crimes. And they just finished that trial at the end of October, and it's really not being talked about here at all.
Witz had a really good question, Bat Associate. How did you end up getting on the show today?
Trumpster Bob invited me.
Oh,
okay. How does Trumpster Bob, what's your relationship with Trumpster Bob?
None until yesterday. The unread bat, or the Trumpster Bob, for some reason lately started being really friendly with the bat. He hadn't spoken to him for a while. He says that was for legal reasons. He reached out to the bat.
We're all sure it's a legal reason. There's a lot of legal reasons going on here.
I'm trying to connect where you came from and how you ended up here.
Yeah, the bat sent me an email. I can show you the email.
Angus said that's bullshit. Sorry.
So the bat brought you to the show.
Wait, who said bullshit? Who said the word bullshit?
Oh,
no,
nothing.
My dog.
He was talking
Your dog said bullshit.
It's just a joke.
Did Georgios bring you to the show?
The bat told Bob about me, and then the Bob said to me, "Come on,
you don't know Bob.
Can we call him the Bob from now on?
A lot.
We miss him.
We'll call him the Bat, but can we call him the Bob from now on?
Georgios is his name.
Did Bob
But I
leave
think
the
he
show?
likes being called the Bat.
Wheezy, did Bob split?
Bob got mad because I was forced to mute everyone there. Everybody was talking over each other.
Oh.
And this is Bob's show. Let me be clear. This is me and Bob's show. So
We
I
want
think
Bob
that
back.
he got his feelings hurt because he thought, how could I be muted on my own show? Fair enough. But I just wanted to stop the talking over each other.
The insanity. Yeah. Okay.
Common problem.
Come on back, Bob.
Come back, Bob, we missed you.
Rob is talking, Bob has to be muted. If Bob's talking, Rob has to, vice versa, right?
Yeah.
Well, Rob was doing
That-
Rob was doing
That
pretty
happen-
good.
that hap-
but
That
then they
happens
just start
to
going.
Me. That happens to me and Bob a lot.
Come back, Bob. We love you.
Yeah, we do. We love Bob. I mean, I'm speaking for myself. I know some people here, even though they don't like Bob, they still love him.
Yeah, no, we love
That's-
Bob. Bob, there's
that's
something
true.
special about Bob. Something special going on
He's
here.
got an airy set of balls on him.
Wow.
You can,
Brass one.
You guys,
Brass
maybe
balls
I'm
on
retarded.
Bob.
Look at here. Maybe
Hi,
I'm
Tanya.
autistic. Maybe I'm retarded. But I can't fucking understand. For the life of me, I'm gonna beat my head on that fucking wall over there. I don't get it. I'm quoting his comments, what he's doing to this lady, telling her to go fucking kill herself. Her kid should kill herself, knowing her husband killed himself. And then Bob just gets a pass. Everyone as a group goes, ha ha.
Well,
Let's
what do you
talk
want
about
us?
something else.
What do you want us to do? This is how I put it.
I want him punished.
Listen. What are you going to punish a guy for saying words for? Like Bob is going to Bob. He's going to Bob. You have to expect Bob to Bob. And if you're expecting Bob not to Bob, that's insanity. So when he says stuff like that, you either have to block Bob forever and never listen to another
What
thing he
about
says.
the victim? What about the victim who's watching? What
I
about
agree.
There's
her
no a
who's
victim of
crying,
words. It's not.
watching?
there's
How
not
do
a
you know what
victim.
mental state she's in right now? Are you
That's
aware?
not. I'm
I
sorry
can't
for
call
that.
that.
Listen.
I
Listen.
can't call that.
I'm sorry
Do
for
you wanna
that.
be- what
It's
if somebody
unfortunate, but
what
it's
if
not Bob's
somebody hurts
responsibility.
themselves? What
It's
if
not-
someone hurts themselves over his words? Do you think you would not be a party to that?
I think
It
Rob's
depends.
exaggerating.
If he says go hurt
hurtful words.
yourself, if he tells them to go hurt themselves, of course. But if he makes them feel low and they hurt themselves, you can't fucking blame anybody on that.
No, it,
Go
it,
kill
it's definitely
yourself, man
something that
hating, man killer who drives men into killing themselves. Hey, Christina,
Can
try
I
not to drive
interject
your
on
son
that?
into suicide.
Can I
Really?
interject my feelings?
Have you
on that?
lost
Yes,
anybody
please
you
do.
loved or cared about in your life close?
Okay,
Have
and
you
I
lost
get
anyone?
I get the words thing.
One thing,
But-
let me finish this.
Okay.
This. Devil's advocate. I don't want to make enemies with you, but have you lost someone you truly loved?
Yep, sure have.
We all have.
I have.
And I don't want to do this to you, Sharman. I want to do it to a man.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. What's his or her name?
Listen,
I want
dude.
to do it to a man.
I'm not comfortable with giving it.
So
That's fine.
I'm gonna say to you, go kill your fucking self. It's your fault they killed them fucking selves, and you're gonna like that?
No, but I'm gonna
I
say,
didn't-
hey, I'm an adult that's listening to words, and if the words are just mean, then good. I can fucking process those. If
Can't
it
they
was,
just-
hey,
He tells people their mothers were fucking sluts and whores, and that's why they're fucking dead. Is your mom
It's
dead? Is your
fucking-
mom passed? It's not. It's unacceptable behavior in any community, unacceptable in any village, unacceptable in any township that he gets
Okay.
away with this shit.
That's
He's
one of the
getting away
reasons
with. And
I
I'm
brought
here-
up.
and I'm here to prosecute that. No matter if you hate me, no matter if I got to talk over, no matter if I got to yell, scream, and holler, no matter if it takes years, I am here to prosecute his behavior.
No, that's
Period.
fine.
For Bob
Yeah,
to
shut
stand
Now
up
I
for
get
himself
the
right
floor.
now. Isn't it?
So,
Is he
okay.
still around?
Can I? My turn. Did I get it?
yeah, go ahead.
And I get the words thing. Okay. However, and having lost several people close to me from suicide, that is just over the top. I don't care what you say. It's just words, or that person can go somewhere else, or whatever. That just is over the
But
top.
here's my point, John.
Let me wait. Hold
It's
on.
not his
Let me just-
responsibility.
What if you're
Let me
involved in a
finish.
comedy
Let me
show?
finish. Will you let me finish? Okay. Okay. All right. Just trying to finish a thought. That's all. And that community, you can say whatever you want, basically. However, anybody else in there can go against whatever's said. And some words are crimes when they're said and the way they're said them, or the
But
way
that's
they're
not.
said.
But what he said was not a crime.
I'm not done. Give me a minute, 60
man
seconds to finish this. When you say some words over the telephone, they're crimes. Okay. That particular, and that has happened too between Bob and Christina. Okay.
Listen, man, if you guys are offended by bad words and mean words, and it's not illegal, there's no legal way to do it, I'm not going to just sit here and listen about how somebody got their feelings hurt because somebody said mean words. This is the internet. You're going to be really in for a hard time if you're worried about people's words.
You go, and that's if you're willing to accept them, that's fine. That's your business. But we're not. And when
then you're in the wrong place.
No, I'm not. I'm here for a lot of other reasons now.
The internet is not a nice, fluffy place where people are always going to say what you want to hear. And if they say something mean about your dead mom or your dead cat, that has to be, that's unfortunate. But what are you going to do? Call the cops because they said,
if it's a crime, I'll call the cops. But
if it's a crime, I agree with you. If it's not a crime, why bitch about it for fucking weeks on end?
Because I'm a member of that community too, and it's unacceptable to me and a lot of other people.
Block him.
And no, but why should I have to block it? Why should I have to adjust my behavior because Bob's fucked up?
Because you don't want to hear his mean words. It's the only recourse you have. Unless you're going to put him in jail, block him. Because he's going to say mean words.
I choose not to do that.
Bob's really come a long way in the last couple of months.
I'm a Bob fan, even though he's still mad at me right now.
Right. It's whenever you're changing your behavior and you're turning over a leaf, it's not an automatic switch. You don't make instant changes. It's an ebb and flow, and you do some things right for a while.
That's what confrontation's about.
Well, and that was kind of my idea behind the GoFundMe today, and giving Bob an opportunity to do one last true Bob style tirade and say it all and get it out and say one group apology and then move on forward because he doesn't want to apologize. There's been a lot of hurt feelings and a lot of things said over the years, but he's turning into a softer, kinder Bob. And
I think that's a great idea, by the way.
So part of the idea for me was, he's not going to be able to do just a normal apology. It's going to have to be a Bob apology. It's going to have to be unique to him and special to him. And he's going to have to say all of these things again. And he's got a bunch of really good insults that he likes to use and, metaphorical threats. And he's, if maybe he says them one last time and then he says goodbye to the old bad ways and we move forward in a healthier fighting style. You men fight differently and you have to be able to call each other cocksuckers and every other thing that you can think of without threatening to kill each other, rape each other's wives, or shove baseball bats up each other's behinds. You got to figure out a better way to do it.
I fight and I don't have to say any of those things.
You're right. You're right. So there is a definite difference in the way you guys communicate, and Bob is changing and he's evolving and he's getting different, and there is definitely a side of Bob that we all enjoy. He's a worthy adversary. We love him for all the things that he's great for. There's some bad habits that would need to go away, and we would all like to see them go away so we can keep up with all the other stuff that we really like.
Of his abuse and his threats right now. Some other lady is.
She should mute him.
She feels different.
Mute him. Block
him. I don't know who the other lady is. I can't keep track of everyone. I don't.
I can see that, but I don't. And I've come over this community, and I came over because Bob begged Harry to come over, and then Harry let me know what Mark was doing, and so I came over. I developed friendships here. There's a lot of stuff that I like about this, and I will always confront bad behavior. That's how it is. I don't have to change my behavior to enable Bob to continue. And my goal is that if he gets confronted enough, he will change his behavior.
And he is. He's making huge strides in the last couple, even since I came here in February. And I don't want to beat up on him too much because I don't want to stop the progress that he's making. But he's got his own way of doing things, and he's got some bad habits from things that he's been doing a long time. And he's tough as nails. He's an old trucker. He's got all the dirty sayings.
Let me have 15 minutes with him. Let me have 15 15 minutes. with Bob and
Five.
I think
he's
you've
fucking
had
done.
15 minutes with
he's
him. I think he
done.
needs 15 minutes of just belting it all out and us donating some bucks to him so he can get to Africa
That
without the
son of a bitch
remotest
to a fucking
possibility
bloody
of
fault.
Mark making that an offer for him.
He's not
Yeah,
going to change.
He's not going to change ever.
Prob-
ever,
you
ever
know.
eaten
No,
drink.
he's made a
got
lot of
wet
changes
brain
already.
problem.
Really? Tell us about that.
He's gotten softer. There's a side to Bob that we all like. Whatever it is about Bob, Bob's got. And that thing today, you know, when he reached out to me on Monday on my birthday and told me he had a surprise for me on Sunday and I was going to like it, that was really sweet of him. He didn't have to reach out to Doug Ducote and his psychologist spouse who offers free PTSD treatments and connect us so that I could get extra help. He didn't have to do that. There's a side to Bob that we don't always see.
You gotta make a clean escape. Don't plan it. They got another Doug Ducote's just another fucking grappling hook they threw at you.
All right. Enough
Make
about
that
Bob.
break in the middle of the night
Enough-
and go. Leave your dog behind.
enough
Leave
about
your
But no,
dog
but
plant your cat.
co-host
yeah,
Ouija,
let's talk
while
about
we're
the show.
talking about it though, like Elisa kind of said that she's upset about Witz's behavior. You know, should I not go on Witz's show tonight?
No, you should do whatever you want to do. I mean, Witz is on this
Do
show and he's
whatever
being
makes you feel good.
Yeah.
like I have
Enough
no.
around
Yeah, like I don't.
But I do want to say this because we only have a couple more minutes left of the show. Chase is going to be doing a wrap-up show after this one. I encourage everybody to go watch it. The Discord has the link, and I know Charmin's going to be
Absolutely.
on that show. It's probably going to be a little lighthearted than this one has been in the last 20 minutes. And I'd like it if I think I just got fired
That'd
from
be nice.
Bob also. So if I ever do this
Oh.
again, I'd like it to be a little less.
I don't know. I don't know if we can do that.
We're
You
sorry,
mute me,
Bob.
you're fired, Weezy. You mute me,
I'm
you're
not
fired.
doing a show tonight. I'm too invested watching your shows and
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
being here. There's only so much time in one day, and I have things to do.
There's a
Real
lot of
world.
there's only so much Sunday Kermit and Friends has taken over my life. I mean, it's really spectacular in a lot of ways, but Kermit and Friends is absolutely
Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely
you're
taking over
preaching
my
to the
life.
choir right now. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sure.
Pretty much.
It's my crack addiction.
I admit it. I admit it.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
the
yes, we're
first
all
step.
definitely addicted to KAF.
We admitted we were powerless over Kermit and Friends, and our
Yeah.
lives had become unmanageable.
It kind of reminds me of like classic 90s Stern.
Yeah, it's been really. I mean, to me, it's like kind of like Stern. The more you scratch the surface, then you see the underlying layers, and the layers just keep going. There's no end.
Mm.
Yep, it's good stuff. Good stuff for
Hey,
sure.
Can I give a Bob quote before we end this?
Yeah,
Yes,
when he
we need a
learned-
Bob quote.
Oh, good. It's a fucking good Bob quote. All right. So when he learned, it's in that snapshot that I showed. When the unread bat revealed to Bob what he'd done to Ducote, Bob had something very Bob to say about it. All right. I'll try to say it in his voice
I'll
too.
bet.
All right.
I'll bet.
All right. Do you realize you've been fucking hang on. You've been having him like a 2-bit whore. You've been fucking the shit out of him and didn't even pay him for it. You were like, thanks for the blowjob, bitch. Get the fuck out of my truck. Isn't that great?
Bob's got some epic lines. There are times I sit back in the Discord chat and I don't even need to turn the TV on anymore. I just watch the Discord chat and see what the boys are fighting about. Like, and they're meme masters. The things they create just to fight with each other. It's pretty spectacular.
That's very Bob. Very
Yeah.
Bob. I
Yeah.
wish
And there's
he
a
should-
Russell
he should
Brand
stick-
comment for the week.
He should stick to doing that to guys, and he would be all right.
Yeah. Well, you know,
We don't-
girls,
we don't
girls
care.
fight differently.
Our
That's
You
for
know
sure.
what?
The girls
I'm
don't
outta
like it
here.
at all.
I'm leaving this show.
21.
I'm leaving it all. You motherfuckers are all fucking hopeless. You're assholes. You're losers. You promote this shit. Now I'm saying it. Guess what? My words. Do I get away with it? Do I get a pass like Bob?
yes, that was funny.
No. Goodbye.
And
I personally thought
we
that
all
was
thought he
funny.
was funny, right?
Yeah, I loved it.
It don't bother me. It don't bother anyone.
He's been way meaner to us. What is he talking about?
Right. We've had way meaner days. I think that was a good end.
Yeah. All right.
I like his meanness. It's part of his character, isn't it?
It is
Absolutely.
part of
He's
Bob's
cast
character
as
for
the
sure.
villain in KF. So, people get mad at him because he plays the villain,
Got to have some hills.
But that's his he's been cast as that. You heard Lisa today.
Well, I want to be.
but-
I want to be
but-
transparent right now. Bob is ripping me apart in the instant message. I don't think he's a Wheezy fan anymore. And I
Oh, fuck.
want it to be public record that I love Bob.
Yeah, we love Bob.
I only muted him just so that we could have a little bit of quietness. He feels like I took him off the show and kept everybody else on, which we all know that isn't true, Bob.
That's
if you ever
not
see
true.
this.
That's
So
not true.
just, I'm so sorry.
We were all
Bob.
missing him. We were all
Yeah,
missing
come back, Bob.
Bobby, come back. All right. On that note, I'm going to end the show, but I want everybody to go to the Chase's show. And I know that if you're in our Discord, that the link will be in there. I invited Chase to come on the show, but he didn't make it. But definitely going to be tuning into his show. And thank you, everybody, for coming in on this. It was awesome, and I appreciate it.
All right. Take care, everybody.
Awesome, bro.
All right,
Angus
guys.
says good
See ya.
night. Good night.
Bye.
Good night.